All right. Hi, how are you today? Sorry, wasn't sure if I was live or not yet. A little bit late, but that's fine. We are on standard time. So let's see. I'm going to on TikTok right now. I am also streaming. I think that it's about a minute or so delayed, but let's see. Yes, so I'm going to be checking on that so I can make sure the captioner is turned on for people watching because I'm also streaming on TikTok right now. Um, but basically today what we're going to be talking about is a video that a creator I'm seeing going viral, an artist I'm seeing going viral on TikTok for the price point she sells at. We're going to look at what her marketing strategy is, how I believe she sells at that price point, what are people saying about her art, and things like that. And we're just gonna kind of like I'm gonna talk about critiques about her art, but I'm also not gonna, because it is subjective, so I'm not gonna shit on it or anything like that either. So we're gonna try and do a blend of all of that. But yeah, so fucking let's get started with all of that shit. Um, all right, I'm gonna roll my intro now. Hi, my name is Lexi, also known as and doing business as Deaf Child. In 2022, my company was listed as number 14 Best Louisiana Events Companies and Startups. I have been doing business as Deaf Child since 2013. I have my Bachelor of Science in Music Industry Studies and Business Administration, and deafness runs in my family genetically. Speech is not fully accessible to me. And I've got about 50 certifications in marketing and sales that you can find at noladeafchild.com. Sorry about that. I don't know how long there was that little space for, but I got distracted positioning my phone. Anyway, so right now we are going to be looking at Reagan the artist. She's been kind of some of her videos. This one's went pretty far, but this one right here, it's got 3.7 million views on it, so that's pretty much considered viral. And this one, went pretty high as well. So lately her videos have been getting a good amount of views. And there was another one I believe went pretty viral as well. This one got 10 million. So two of her videos went viral recently. And so we're gonna talk about her art, her price point, what are people saying about her, why, and how does she basically charge the price that she charges at. I love how my friends in the comments tell me to hurry up. Um, but yeah, so today what we're gonna do is fucking I got distracted. God damn it, I hit my brain sometimes, but I also like my brain, but then sometimes it's like, oh shit. Anyway, so fucking the video that started this all this one is the first one that she ever posted, I think, about this ceremony. Um, so we're going to take a look at this video first, and then we're going to take a look at the other ones. I think this is the same one, but I could be wrong. But if this is not the same one, then I still think it's a good way to see her art and the design and all, because it's got the same dress and everything. But let's look at the video, and then we're going to look at the comments. Okay, I apologize. I didn't have the sound on. So, so it basically has a voice. It's got music in the background and it's got like text over it. So let's talk about that. Oh, and for those that aren't watching, it says point of view. Your guests love watching your wedding ceremony painting come to life, and then it shows someone saying, "Oh my gosh, you are so and she's saying thank you. People telling her it's amazing and good and shit. We're about to see This one bitch touched one to see if there's a splash of orange. She's trying to make sure she's in it. She's got an orange dress on. Is that like an orange? I guess it's an orange dress. Like a coral, orangey red dress. I don't know. Depending on the color shade. Maybe it's the shade. So it just basically doesn't even show the painting in this one, actually. It just shows the guest wanting to make sure she's in the fucking picture and stuff. And so in the comments, you are have a mixed feedback. Some people are saying you deserve all the recognition, they love this, and some people are like, not just finally getting on my For You page because they've probably seen, like, I saw stitches of people talking shit about this artist before I saw the original content itself. But I know things can show up differently for everybody in their algorithm. Um, and so yeah, she's got a mixed kind of feedback in that regard there. So then the next video she posts about this is like, or that I saw on there about this. If there was more, I missed it. So that first one that we just watched was June 17th. So this is about a month later, and that's probably understandable actually if she didn't do the reveal when the wedding happened, because it's actually relatively normal not to post content of like the big reveal of the bridal things and the wedding material until the bride and groom do, you know? It's kind of like a respect thing where it's like their big day, they should get to reveal the final product type thing. But yeah, fucking. So I can kind of understand if she waited a month so they had time to post stuff. But yeah, fucking all right. So now we're gonna watch, you know, where this wedding guest wanted to make sure she was in the crowd. It says, "Can you spot her?" So I think this is gonna be where the reveal is. Oh fuck, I forgot to mute her again. Unmute. Okay. Does it show a transcription? It sounds like it's got the music from Girls Just Want to Have Fun in there. But yeah, this is like the big reveal that has everybody so upset. Um, and basically, I don't know if you look at it, people are basically saying like they wouldn't pay for the price point because of things like they understand that not everything has to be realistic in art. Was one critique that I saw was where they were saying it doesn't have to be realistic, but the fact that the where you see the line for this umbrella wasn't center at all. Um, and then similar to this one right here, can you see my mouse in here? Kinda, yeah. And then the way the umbrella cuts off these people's heads, you know, and just like different things to where it it just kind of doesn't make sense, or it's not the best for what you might want to spend 950 on, or perhaps how it's like, I don't know, the clouds kind of don't seem naturally realistic. So yeah, it could be like an aesthetic, it could be a look. But I think it all depends on what you're going for. And those are some of the critiques that people pointed out. And I saw one person was saying that they didn't like. I can't remember. I think one person made all of the critiques I'm saying, but a bunch of people are saying things. I think I'm talking about the last video I watched, and I don't know the creator. Uh, so if this is your talking points, I'm sorry I stole your shit. Fuck, who the fuck said this shit, man? Someone else said this fucking shit. Okay, this is not someone. These talking points are not my ideas. I'm just talking about things that I've heard said. So, anyway, but yeah, so these like dots right here, where they're supposed to be flowers, how they're like aligned, um, don't kind of seem to fit how they might in nature. So those are some of the things that people were discussing. Um, and I think all of that could be subjective, right? Because on one level, it's like, well, you know, if this is the aesthetic that the artist does, like for example, people in New Orleans, People come pay a shit ton of money in New Orleans for a fucking blue dog. I don't know if you look up the blue dog painting, you look that up. That one fucking piece of art has made so much fucking money. You know what? Yeah, this is worth it. Let's just look up the blue dog right now, real quick. So yeah, you don't think that's worth $950? Okay, well, she's charging $950 for that. So, George Rodriguez in New Orleans, let's show you. For this dog, different versions of this one dog, he charges so much money for it. And he's got this one art gallery. Let's look. Let's see if we can see the. What the fuck? Where'd it go? I just clicked away. Um, I wonder if it shows me price. Oh, you have to contact them for pricing. But if I remember correctly, the pricing is pretty expensive. Um, I wonder if I can find. Just find the blue dog pricing online. So the estimate is between 1,500 and 2,500 for a live auction for the here, for example. For this one dog. You know what I'm saying? So this one right here sold for $112,500. Is that fucking real? So yeah, there's some fucking shit right there. Oh, we can't really have to go on the live stream. I'm over here looking at TikTok. I just see that. Anywho, fucking but yeah, all right. Sorry, I got distracted. Fucking so there's like shit where I understand where because of art being subjective the way it is, there will be people who will spend that money on it. Um, and there will be people who like so there's a way to market anything. You can sell anything at any price point, and if you have the right strategy, the right niche, the right audience, the right network, and all of that, you'll be able to push that. And so we're going to talk about all of that as well. We're going to keep watching her videos and we'll comment on that. But this is the video in question. um and then let's look at some of the the comments are turned off. I swear to God, I feel crazy, but I swear to God, I don't think were these comments turned off earlier. I don't remember there being. I remember looking at comments on this shit. I don't remember if it was today or if it was a few days ago, but I can see how the comments got turned off because people were talking a lot of shit on here, and the stitches are brutal. But let's see if there's any more comments left anywhere else. Okay, so this is the one we just watched. I apologize. And so this is on one of the replies that she left, and I believe that will go back to here if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I clicked away. Um, I believe it'll go back to the original if I'm not mistaken. Is fucking this comment says the comments don't realize this was the painter's account and y'all just roasting her, laughing my fucking ass off. And so now let's watch and react to what she has to say about people just basically talking mad shit about her not being worth $950.
For this. Yes, hi. I'm the artist and this is my account, so I see everything you're saying. I appreciate everyone showing so much interest in this painting. Before today, I had never gone viral, so so happy to be here. This is really fun. Thankfully, when you go to art school, which I did do, to everyone asking, you basically sign up to be roasted constantly. So I'm very used to some people like my work, some people not. We do critiques as a class and we hear it all. Honestly, some of the comments are kind of funny. You made me laugh, so thank you for that. I just wanted to.
I wonder why I should turn the comments off though. I love how I think it's a good strategy to play it off like not a big deal, but you gotta leave the comments on to stand behind that. Like, yeah, it's not bothering me. Y'all can say whatever the fuck you want to me. It doesn't get under my skin. shuts it down. You know what I mean? Um, I turn my comments off and I admit, no, I'm turning this shit off for my mental health. I don't want to hear your bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just be straightforward. But she's trying to play it off because she wants people to go away. So I feel like she's taking the if you admit it's bothering you strategy, they're just gonna keep doing it. What's bothering you strategy, but uh, I think fucking it's kind of like well, okay. We're just gonna watch the rest of this video and we'll see if because I haven't seen this video, but I did see some of her replies to the commenters, and I think there's a way to explain the value on what you do, but with some of the people, because other people who are artists that do the same thing don't charge that amount for what they do, and they could be considered more skilled. Um, I think she when they were criticizing her, the way she came back at other artists who are in the market was just kind of talking down to them as if they don't understand what she does, but these are people who do understand what she does. So I feel like that's where the difference has been happening, where it's like one thing if you're talking to people who don't know shit about art, so you got to explain to them why they got to pay you for your art, because I'm all about being paid what you're worth and shit. But she's arguing with other artists about whether or not her art is 950, and they're telling her now your art is more of like between 50 to 150 level, not 950. um and so there's like a difference there. And then we'll, you know what? After this, we'll talk about why I think she's able to capitalize so much on that too. Hold on, though. But we'll keep seeing what she has to say for herself.
To show some of my other art in case you didn't take the time to go look at my account. Um, so let's just take a look. Okay, so these are some of the paintings that I've done. These are from art school. So as you can see, I'm very capable of drawing realistically. Um, there's also this one. And
I can't draw, so I understand on a certain level there's not room for someone who can't perform something to criticize what it would take to execute that. But on another level, if you're talking about what a consumer of something, um, what it's like for someone to consume something, I would say that I feel experienced on that regard, as perhaps we all do. But in my opinion, I wouldn't. She's very talented. I do think she's got a specific type of gift and style with her art, and you can see where in the example she showed there, she's because the biggest difference is the first one is a live painting at the wedding, so she's painting that during the event. She doesn't have a long time to finish it, versus the others. We don't know how long she had to do those assignments, but it just looks like way more time was spent on those details in the other examples she showed us, but they still don't look, I still wouldn't call that realism. Because I've seen people do paintings that look so real, I think it's a fucking photograph, but it's a damn painting. So those are good paintings. They've got a style, they're artistic, she's very talented, but that's not realism. So I think there's some type of, maybe I don't understand enough about art. Maybe I'm misusing the correct terms for this, but I also feel like there's a discrepancy between what she's labeling her art as and why people are then not satisfied with the way she's marketing herself because of the difference in those expectations.
our bathroom. Oh, let me turn that on. Yeah, I'm very capable of painting hyper realistically. It is.
I would just disagree that what she showed would be hyper realism. I don't know if I'm being a bitch, but like, here's what I'm talking about.
Not.
Oops, I didn't mean to hit play. Like, if I look up Craig body art New Orleans, yes, Craig Tracy, fuck, I forgot to put his name there. So this dude, okay, this is hyper realism to me. There's just So this is a body, a human body that he paints on. You know what the fuck I'm saying? This right here is a human body that he painted on right here. So his art, this is a human body. This is what I consider hyper realism. Um, so this is a human body that he painted on right there. So that's where I'm saying like there's a human. Like in all of his arts, there's a human. Fucking so you can kind of to me there's a bit this is worth more than 950. You know what I'm saying? Like there's like a really big difference in the quality there that I don't think she understands. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
What I like to paint, in my opinion. Here's another one. Little fun. Okay. Um, you have.
like her art has a vibe for what it is. But when you compare what I had just pulled up with Craig Tracy to what she's showing us again, it's like, yeah, that's not hyper realist. That's why, like I just have like a different expectation for fine art in that regard. But like it's not that an art that has more of a illustration or more of that type of quality aesthetic to it. I feel more of a is necessarily a it's I'm not trying to put people down for a different type of art, but I just don't feel what she's putting out there meets. Like if you look at my brand elements, you know what I'm saying? That's doodles, but in digital illustration, but it's still elevated to the next level through the use of like gradients in order to create 3D effects and the way that the layering of different mixed media from like actual sketch that is printed and scanned is layered with the digital illustrations drawn in the editor. These different types of mixed media formats elevate that to the next level. Like if you go look at like my website, for example, the artist that did this background is Maya Jevons. And it's just, you know what I'm saying? So, and it's not even realistic at all. It's like more of an animated, illustrated, doodle approach. And it's still so high quality and professional to me compared to what Reagan is putting out there. Like this, I would call fine art, right? So I'm not saying just because it's not hyper realism, it's not fine art or something, or like that it has to be one media to be fine art. But I just feel it's like if you can do like fine art is subjective too, because at another level, it's like if you can sell it, fuck it. But um, I feel like, to qualify at what point, because I understand we should be able to all do art for the sake of art, but in terms of marketing or selling something, at what point would you qualify something as a high quality fine art versus regular art for the sake of art? You know what I'm saying? And like I feel like art for art's sake is worth it. Like we should never be hindering, and there's nothing wrong with art for art's sake. Um, and there's nothing wrong with a handmade craft approach. But would you call what there's? I think there's a difference between scratch art, perhaps, versus fine art. You know, um, and yeah, that's just my opinion. I feel she meets more of like a homemade scratch art type level versus a fine art type level, but maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe I'm a bitch on that. But that's just kind of where I'm at with my resources. Like, if I had so much money that it didn't matter to me if I paid my friend to draw me something out of love because that's someone I care about, then I would probably hire her for what she charged that for. But other than something like that, where it wouldn't have that sentimental value to me, um, I would rather invest my resources in a artist that's going to give me a higher quality investment for that price point. Or if I'm going to get that type of quality of art back, go pay someone who is cheaper for that level. But it's not to devalue someone because I believe, at every price point, like everybody deserves a living wage and everything. But it's like when you factor into the time it took you to do that, um, and the resources it goes into it and all of that, and then your skill set at that, it's not 950. Um, I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. But let's listen.
Photographs. So I personally don't want to have a big giant painting of something that looks just like a photograph. If I can just have a photograph printed out. Also, with the rise of AI, you can easily take a photo and make it look like a painting.
But that's like the definition of hyperrealism is that it looks so real it's like a photograph. And so that's totally fine if that's not what you want to do, but then it's not hyperrealism, am I right? Like it's not even like to me, if you don't want to do hyperrealism for that, then the next level would be to elevate it to mystical realism. Do the hyperrealism and then elevate it with mixed media on top. Like if I could do Craig Tracy meets my art, you know what I'm saying? A mixed media hyperrealism. Craig Tracy meets Maya Jevons crossover. That would be so fucking cool. That would be magic. Type thing, you know what I'm saying? But what she's doing isn't that. It's more of like it's not even Lisa Frank. It's like MySpace wallpapery kind of in a day back in the day. Um, but it's not even like I like the old skating rink design more than I would pay $950 for um a canvas that had that old skating rink design with like the stars and the little squiggly and shit. Before I would pay 950 for her to fucking do a live paint. I'm a bitch. I gotta stop that shit. Now I'm just shitting. Okay, no, no, no. I'm just shitting. Everybody deserves to get paid because what if people are talking about it like that about me with my marketing? You know what I'm saying? I charge 300 an hour. People are gonna be like, I would pluck my fucking pubic hair before I paid 300 for that bitch to do my marketing. People might say that about me. I get that. But you know what? Fucking I think really though, like if she's selling at that price point, she obviously has a market for it. So I don't have room to talk, and no one has room to talk. Just because we don't like something doesn't mean that she doesn't have a market for it or that she can't do business doing it. We're just not her market, and that's totally cool. She's got obviously got a market for it. So I should shut the fuck up, right? All right.
Painting. But when it comes to, I guess, impressionism or abstracted styles, which there were some comments, I know people said this isn't abstract. I agree, it's not abstract. I say it's more of an abstracted style, meaning it's not hyper realistic.
Did I misinterpret the beginning where she said it was hyper realistic? Or was she claiming people thought it was hyper realistic at the beginning and I've been going off about that for no fucking reason? Oops. I can't. So either I went off about that for no fucking reason and my bad, or I just caught her going back and forth in one video. One of the two. I'm not sure, and I don't feel like going back right now to go double check, but you can do that if you give a shit about that. Um, but I'm curious. I am kind of curious. Like, what? Hmm.
So I do agree with that, but it's more of, in terms of realism versus abstract, it's more abstract, is all I said. I personally feel like it's better to lean more on the abstract impressionism style, gestural, wind.
I'm just gonna look up. So is this impressionism? So now she's saying she's definitely saying I wouldn't call what she's doing impressionism. Maybe did I leave that up somewhere? Hold on. Yeah, I wouldn't call that impressionism. It kind of reminds me of like a bad. That sounds weird to say bad, but it just reminds me of like wedding Barbie shit for some reason, or like my scene shit. I don't know why. I wouldn't call that impressionism, right? It's more child. It looks more child book, more child storybook type thing. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's why people are shitting on her. It's kind of like, what the fuck is gestural art? Do I even want to Google that? Okay, gestural painting. Oh, okay. Mm, I wouldn't call it that either. That's not I wouldn't call that gestural. I wouldn't call that impressionist. We could go with whimsical. Whimsical is super. I feel like more subjective. I think we might let whimsical slide. Um, because whimsical is just whimsical, right? That we can let that slide. Sure, you can say whatever the fuck you want about that. But I'm gonna disagree with her on it being impressionist. Did I Google abstract already? I wouldn't call what she did abstract either unless she's referring to the fact she didn't fucking do the faces. I mean, maybe we can call it abstract. I mean, I guess whimsical and abstract can be whatever the fuck you want, can it? Or is abstract an actual design concept with, like, a format to it? I don't know. What was the other one? What what qualifies as fine art? Okay, it's gotta be creative. Appreciate primarily or solely for imaginative, aesthetic, or intellectual content. To be honest, I don't think it qualifies as fine art for that reason because her main selling point for selling those pieces are the emotional memory of the wedding, not the art, not her skill. You know what I'm saying? It's appreciated more for the fact that it's the wedding than the skill. Otherwise, people would be going and buying from her store and online. You know what I'm saying? People are buying because they want a memory for their wedding. Like, when, I don't know, perhaps I'm wrong. Oh, I just clicked away again. But yeah, alright, let's see what else you have.
Musical, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I do. And it is true that not every bride wants that. I'm very aware of that. And those brides don't have to hire me.
So basically, what the fuck I was saying, or
I have to go work now because I work for myself and I do a lot of other things besides wedding paintings. A lot of you have already reached out to me wanting a custom piece for yourself. So I'm really appreciate that and I would love to do that for you. I also make graphics, and watercolor. If you need any art, you can reach out to me. Hello to
So even if I disagree with like her art or wanting to buy it for myself, I can still, from a marketing perspective, definitely look at her and say there are things that we can learn about her from a marketing perspective. From an art subjective perspective, I don't personally agree with her art at the price point it is. On a business level, I think this is someone we can all learn from when looking at how to price our services and how to find a market for our buyers at whatever our price point is. So, from that angle, I want to switch to a more positive note about this person, even though I have been kind of shitting on the art because I wouldn't fucking buy it at that price point, to be honest. I know I keep saying that. And so because of that bias there, more negative talk might come out of me, but I'm gonna work on that. But focusing on her marketing strategy, I really like right here in these last 30 seconds, she's getting, like when we look at the videos, she's responding to one of them's 10 million views and the other's 3.7. Okay, we're right here though, just before the 3.7 though. So the 3.7 is coming up. But so this one's 10 so she's responding to the one of 10 million views. So that's still a really really good way to take awareness into a sales funnel. So when you're going into a sales funnel, when you're doing awareness, that's when people are just finding out about you. So now they know who the fuck she is. So what she's doing now is she's like, look, for the ones who are actually fucking interested and actually do like this style and actually would want it for themselves, because there are people who would look at that and be like, yeah, I want that. Because like all of us, like I can't draw. So all of us, like, if we can't draw and she's in your area and there's not many people around you that can draw and you don't know anyone else that can draw, so you see this artist, yeah, that's probably going to be a great deal for you if you're nearby, or something. That might be something that you need. So there is definitely an audience she can serve because there are always going to be people who want to have those special memories. And her choosing this wedding niche to do the live wedding painting on, like things like that, where people are always going to be doing these types of social events, are always really big money makers. When you can tie your offer and your service down to something like that, because there's never not gonna be people getting married, for example. Um, or like I was talking to my client today who's in real estate about his dog because his dog needs to go to veterinarian, but the veterinarian, they get booked really far out in advance. And so you have to wait hours just to get an appointment. And then you have to wait for the appointment. Um, and so that's just how busy their veterinarian is and where they're at, and there's not many veterinarians where they are. And so fucking things like that. So we were looking thinking like in consideration like different business models when you have a certain level of scarcity for what you do, or you find a right niche for marketing yourself in which there is an area of scarcity that you can serve. That is where you can then really kind of crank out those sales, and I think that's what she found here. um so yeah, fucking okay, oops, I fucking keep clicking on my thing and then it goes away on me, but I think it's still showing up on the video. Okay, so now we are going to watch this little 25-second video. So it's responding to a comment saying, do you paint while it happens or take a photo? And it says, always found wedding painting so cute. So it shows her starting in one outfit. I'm assuming it's the same day. I don't know. But it looks like it's clearly starting before the wedding has even happened here. It's only a 25-second video, so this is clearly some form of time lapse. But we'll see what happens.
about 2 to 3 hours early. Paint in.
Okay, I had first I forgot to unmute. Then I started playing it, but there is no captions. Sometimes when there's no captions, there will still be like when you click the arrows at the bottom, right here, it'll show you a transcript. but that's not happening for me today. So I actually may not listen to this one because there's no captions on it. So fuck it. We're just gonna watch. So you can go watch that video if you care about what she fucking says. But it doesn't look like to me like she should have made this shit accessible. But if you can see, like she's got a good before people have even sat down and the wedding's fully started. She's got a good beginning of it done and a good palette, like good cleaning done. And then people are sitting down and she's painting. So if you do live wedding painting, I don't know if that constitutes as like starting, um, you know, like what that, like how long all of this was. And I know this can also depend entirely on the wedding. I've been to some weddings. That shit is over with in 30 minutes. You're like, fuck that shit. Yeah, all right, we're married now. Fucking right, bitches, let's go party. But then I've been to other weddings where the wedding takes hours. It takes fucking hours. And you're like, what the fuck are we here for? Uh, but no, that sounded rude. But I don't know. But you know how sometimes when you've been at a wedding and you just been waiting for so long and you're just like, God damn, we still got to do the party after and shit too. Fuck. Um, I've been thinking about that. But yeah. So, um, then the last video she posts, this one has captions. We're gonna watch this now, and I'm gonna mute real quick. Or not the last video she posted, but the last video I've seen about this so far as of today, and it's July 22nd.
This painting cost a lot more than $50. This is a 20-inch by 24-inch canvas that I painted.
You know what? Let's do some adding. Price of 20 by 20 inch canvas. Oh, okie dokie. So I'm seeing a cotton canvas panel for $10, 10 to $20 here. But then on Staples, I'm seeing a gallery wrapped one for 75. And then I'm seeing one here for like 60. Maybe these are oh, are these packs of multiple ones now? Um, or are these singles? I don't know. But it looks like she could pay a variety of pricing for this. So let's assume this is a $20 canvas then. Oh, 24-inch. My apologies. Fuck that up. Let's get that straight. Get that straight. Gotta get the pricing right. Gotta get the pricing right. Oh, we see here 197. That's a big price jump. Oh, but here's 65. Oh, okay. We're actually back to a similar price point. Situationship. We're just gonna exit out that here. All right. So let's assume she paid, you know, could be anywhere. Let's assume it's 25, 20, 30 bucks, 25, 30 bucks tops for that.
Did at a wedding. So I painted while.
It looks like I don't know how much paint would go on that, but I know paint can be pretty fucking expensive. But let's just look at the average price of paint. I don't know what type of paint that is, but let's assume it's like acrylic. So let's assume this is like a set of paint of studio acrylics for or something like that, you know, for like 50 bucks. We could assume that.
Wedding guests
So
watched me, and I did it very quickly during the wedding. I charged $950 to paint on a painting this size, which factors in the entertainment.
oh shit, I forgot to mute. Sorry if there's an echo. My bad. But what fucking entertainment though? Like I understand that you're doing the live wedding, but you're painting. Like, yeah, you have to talk to people and provide customer service and to a point, socializing is mental work and a performance in and of itself when you're working particularly. But what like I know art is entertainment, but what the fuck does she mean she's providing the entertainment? She's at a wedding. Like what?
My time, the materials.
Okay, we've gone over the materials. That's like 150. We don't know the time of the wedding because it could have been anywhere between 30 minutes and several hours. But let's assume that this was perhaps a 1 or so hour ceremony with a 3 to 4 hour reception because my phone went down. My bad, y'all. Because they were having a great time or something. Oh, 5 ended. Oh God. Okay. We'll deal with that later. But um, God, people reaching out to me right now. Fuck. Anyway, um, love those people. That sounded rude. That sounded like I didn't want them to talk to me. I do want them to talk to me. That's just my reaction to my phone going off. But what was I talking about? But hold on, let me see what the fuck I just said. Doop. Okay, I was estimating the time of hours. So let's say they were having a great time at the reception and they spent like 4 hours there. Let's say this was a whole like 5 hour affair because the wedding was just that much fun. Oh shit! I think I hit the wrong button. The wedding was just that much fun, or some shit. Fucking yeah, dude. I don't even know. Fucking. I feel like so. Let's say you spent 4 hours on this. How much per hour? 20 to 50 an hour. For paintings like murals, costs can go to 70 or more per hour. So say it was 50, say we're doing 50 an hour. Say we spent 5 hours on it at 50 an hour. That's $250, okay? And say you did, anywhere between I don't believe I this is a multi-pack. That's definitely a multi-pack. So say we did this is a multi-pack too, I think. Say we did a $20 canvas, so we'll add another 20. And say we spent $50 on paint and we decided to just use this whole round of paint set on this canvas. So that itself is 320. So you could charge like 325. A third of that, I think, would be more reasonable. Value based, that, in my opinion, would factor value based, market based, and cost based pricing, where you are getting paid the value you provide, you're covering the cost of your materials, and you are meeting what else is on the market. So if they go anywhere else for this service, they'd be paying a similar price. That is what I think a more realistic price point would be. And even though I was saying, I'd only pay 50 to 150 earlier, now that I understand, and that was just by looking at it. Now that I understand what could be going into the material, unless she had the receipts to prove to me otherwise, that is what I think it would be worth. More like 325. Now that I understand what goes into it from the market based on price point. And to me, that would still be a really good price. So I know I charge a lot of money, but I also will have a whole team behind me to execute, and you are getting multiple things from me. You're getting a consultation, you're getting execution and marketing, you're getting graphic design, you're getting web development, you're getting media buying, you're getting all of these things that you would have to go pay thousands and thousands of dollars for if you tried to go buy them separately from someone else, but I will do it all inclusive in the one price. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I charge what I charge, so I can then fulfill on that level of service. So, on if you are charging a higher price point, you have to fulfill a level of service to meet it, in my opinion. And I think that's where she's fucking going wrong. I don't know. know if I'm making sense right now. But yeah, fucking where was I? Did we finish this? Okay, let's keep watching. My bad.
And yes, my skill level. That does not include travel fees, and that is my cheapest option. The average
Okay, I forgot about travel fees. So 325. If it's within her city, is I think very reasonable. And if she has to like leave and stuff like that, and then extra cost for sure.
cost for a live wedding painting in America is about $1,500. I've seen some that say 1,500, some that say 2,000. So we'll say 1,500.
Typically, the live paintings I've seen, though, to be honest, are a much higher skill set. Like the way that they blend the like. So this is Frenchie, known for live paintings in New Orleans, and you see the way that they blend the different colors together and how they will include specific faces and things like that. Um, there's just a different level of it's not realistic, but it feels more intentional. It feels more of like everything that she wanted to be with the impressionism, with the whimsical. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like this is where she wants to be, but she's not there yet. You know what I'm saying?
So I am a beginner, and my pricing starts lower than the average price.
Yeah, fucking. So she admits she's a beginner. I still don't think that she's charging beginning pricing based on what we looked at with the supplies here. Unless that 950 unless she's gonna include the travel to show like there should be $600 worth of travel expenses. I'm kind of skeptical about that price difference there. Like where is that extra 600 from? Um so in capitalism it can be a bit easier or it can be more like standard to charge a higher price point for your art and for your design because people are going to be commercializing off of that aesthetic and they're going to be making more money off of what you provide them. So that higher price point is there because of the investment of the value you're providing them by then providing the visual experience to help them get a higher return on investment. Um, She turned off the comments. God damn it. I wanted to read some comments. Oh, do we have some here? Um, looks like I think I really feel like I think that she is removing some of the comments potentially. Um, but it looks like a lot of the ones on here are telling people of a mixed because some people are like, like oh, they knew what they bought, obviously, and what you paint is a style and it's talent, nevertheless. So you go. Um, and someone said it's called be realistic. If I received that at my wedding, I think my wife would cry. Being kind doesn't get you nowhere if you don't deserve it. But it's funny to me because they spelled nowhere like Know. Um, so people are arguing about whether or not they'd buy it. Someone said, honestly, you should just keep it, just saying, keep it abstract like a blobbish. Don't try to define a line to people because it looked extremely cheap. It looked good before then. I guess I can see what you're saying because, like, because the person didn't have time to fully define it and she hasn't developed that style yet, that could probably be like if she hadn't focused so hard on like I don't know, but to me she didn't even seem to really be trying to define the lines because that was part of the problem I had with her was the lines weren't right on the umbrella and shit like that. But whatever, I don't know. Um, but I think so. There's a mixed factor. Obviously, it looks like her target market is people of higher income who can afford that type of content. Or I'm just gonna kind of get rid of this material here. Looks like we're done here. Um, so we've talked about different artists that we've compared this to. We've compared her to Craig Tracy. We've compared her to I forgot his name, something Diego Rodriguez, I think, from the Blue Dog. We've compared her to Frenchie live painting. So we've kind of compared her to different New Orleans artists um, that are relatively popular here that sell at a higher price point. And if you look, she's kind of got like it looks like she's got a predominantly white audience, in my opinion, perhaps. With more money, in my opinion, because if you look at the paintings that she shows, it looks like predominantly white audiences. And if you look at the locations she's at, the places she's at, it looks like she's just in a higher net worth area. And to be able to invest into art material that way shows some level of privilege, you know. And I consider even when I'm at my brokest, being able to invest in the art material and the for career I've had has been a privilege. Even if I don't consider myself privileged income disparity wise because of that financial obstacle, I still think I've been privileged in my capacity to execute on the level I've executed. Um, so you can definitely see where she's had access to things that not everybody has had access to. And that's like a really nice house she's at right there for this wedding and things like that. So maybe that's a venue and not a house. But yeah, so it looks part of this will be like you look at network, you look at what is the offer, you look at the niche, you look at the way she could potentially be utilizing scarcity perhaps within her community if there's no one else that will go to your wedding and paint live, you know, she will you know, so things like that, like you look at what else is on the market, and then you kind of see how has she made a business for herself, even though people don't think that she had the best art. How was she able to still do that? And that was basically from those factors of the way that she fucking is able to identify what will people pay for and then offer that to them. And so yeah, so we looked at her videos about the $950 controversial painting that kind of I went like on my TikTok feed and I was just like, dude, I just want to talk about this because it's wild to me the way she's able to move that. And it's wild to me also just the way artists are able to sell at their price point. You know what I'm saying? Um, and if I don't think she should stop if people are paying that for her, you know what? I think it's good because here's why. Here's what we should take away from this. If she's able to push the needle up to where now you're paying 950 at that price point to get that offer, it makes it so anybody at a higher quality skill, if they want to push up their price point, they can. And just market yourself at a higher price point to see who will pay you for that. And you'll be able to then pick and choose who you want to take on clients at a lesser price point for. So that is one benefit of this is of her setting the needle for a lower quality item at a higher price point is if she's doing that, then that sets the capacity for you to raise your price point. Because if she's able to sell her material at her price point, it's like imagine what you can do, right? So to people criticizing her because you're like, oh, I can do something better, but I don't charge that much, you know, I would say try charging that much if you want to. If you like not offering that, not charging that much to be accessible to the day to day person, and that's how you market, ignore me. Do that. That's the shit, you know. But I'm just saying, I believe if you want to be charging more for your art, because a lot of people undervalue art, and what if it should be priced at that? Because I'm over here talking about how in business, it can be pretty common and typical for you to charge for art at a higher price point due to the fact that people will be continuing to commercialize and capitalize off of that material, and what you will charge is a minimal fraction of the cost of the revenue you're generating for them with that material. Um, but so why would I then devalue art in a different way? You know, is that devaluing? So it's also like the concept of capitalism and um, the concept of generation of worth under capitalism, and this ties back to should I earlier when I'm going to off about the difference between fine art and art for art's sake, just because I don't happen to like this person's art that much. Was that bootlicker of me? Was that a colonial approach or of me, you know? Or was it just, you know, like, I don't know. Perhaps that is a wrong path for me to be. Perhaps it's fine and it's just a matter of a difference of opinion. We're allowed to not like everything. But on another level, it's like things like that. Perhaps there's a point to be made about the semantics of the definitions of words in order in terms of meeting expectations and communicating in order to have a satisfaction with a deliverable. But on another level, perhaps I'm being nitpicky with the way she argued about her. Uh, how about the way I argued about the way she labels her art? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm making sense, but I feel like I'm like going downhill with me making sense. So I'm gonna wrap this bitch up now. Well, I think I made some sense. But yeah. Um, Anyway, how much would you pay for this shit? Do you think it's worth $950? Am I being a bootlicker? Um, or what? I don't know. Or is this exploitative? Am I being a bootlicker, or is she exploiting, or is she privileged? Or am I being overthinking it? You know what? I don't know. But do you think you should be charging more for your art? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's think about what does this mean for the market itself too, as a whole, with how artists should or could be setting their prices, and what should we be managing people's expectations to pay, because what if people are just so mad about not paying for her full price because we've been devaluing art for so long that now we just don't want to pay for it at all, you know, and that's actually what it should be, and I don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But let's reflect on all of that. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. I think this is the shortest live stream I've done in a minute. So proud of me. I didn't feel like working anymore today because I'd already done a lot of work, but I think my next live stream coming up, I'll finish up that SEO shit that we did last time. But yeah, I'm gonna go fucking get ready for bed. I might go snack on something. Um, I hope you have a good night. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for watching. And yeah, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. You might want to adjust the volume after all of this because a loud music is going to play. So yeah, adjust the volume. And then if you're coming to these lives anyway, I do have a loyalty program, noladovechild.com/loyalty. If you sign up for my site as a member and you follow the check-in procedure, you can get points just for showing up to these lives anyway. So I just want to let you know about that. Yeah, about that. Yeah, I always have a really hard time saying goodbye because, you know, saying goodbye really just kind of feels like you're Tom Hanks. You know what I mean? Over here just like, well done, Wilson. But anywho, yeah, so thank you for being here and goodbye.